Good morning, everyone. Today is 10 April, 8 o'clock in the morning on our Central Standard Time. My name is Tom Davis. You will see me on the ballot as Thomas E. Davis. And this is The Ground Truth, coming to you live from Morrison, Tennessee. Talk about some issues, the campaign, upcoming events, and then just what is going on. And looks like if you are in the chat, give me a hey, what's up? If you can hear everything all right. And we're broadcasting okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so this morning I'll start off with yesterday's event, which was the Reagan Day dinner out in Bledsoe County. A great job, Bledsoe County Republican Party. It was a great venue, 200 plus people, give or take. I guess it was jam packed in that venue. And then actually I checked in last night on it. Let me see where that post is so I can get the name of this venue. So if you are in Bledsoe County and you're looking for an event, there we go. Valley View Farms. So go check those guys out if you're in Bledsoe County and you need a venue over there, wedding venue, meeting venue, Reagan Day dinner. Good stuff over there. So, hey, I was also surprised to see our congressional representative, Congressman Desjardins, was the guest speaker. Had no idea until we showed up. That maybe that's because town halls and being in the district are so dangerous for him. That's what he does. He just kind of pops up here and there. And then, so since we're talking about the calendar a little bit, I will go into the next few days here. Tomorrow we have some events, or actually, I'm sorry, today I will be at the Coffee County Reagan Day dinner this afternoon. And then I'll also have, there's a couple other events going on that if you happen to be in those areas, you want to talk to some folks I have supporting the campaign and me. The Terry Bell and Jackie Matheny, there's a fish fry they have going on, and that's out in Rock Island. And actually, that one, go out and see those guys if you're in Warren County, and talk to them. I'll have somebody on the ground out there. My guy Jim will be on the ground to talk to you and give you a card or whatever it is you need. And then out in Bedford County, and that is in that's at the Bedford County Agricultural Center. I'm planning to have actually be my campaign manager, Deanna, will be out there at that event. And then, like I said, myself and Cindy will be at the Coffee County Reagan Day dinner tonight. I did have the opportunity last night to speak. I haven't checked the video out. I think we did video. I'll post that up if we did. If not, you won't get to see it. And then, so tomorrow in Warren County, and this is at the Warren. I think this is should be the Warren First 931 and Warren County Joy are hosting a Warren County meet and greet, and that's at the admin building at 201 Locust Street. And that's I think it's actually 11 to 1. I'm showing I'll show up early. I try to, like I do. And then in the afternoon, this will be from, I'm showing 6 o'clock to 7, is 411 Grundy County. That's up in Tracy City. So go to, I think, I'm not even sure. I think that's I'm not sure who's hosting that. Don't give me lying to you. Next week, we're looking at candidate forum. I'll be at that one. This one, I will be at this one, but I will not be speaking. They're focusing on more of the local candidates, but it's Main Street Media. I think Ben Lomond and maybe one other organization are hosting this one, but I'll be there walking around. Yeah, I think this one is the DA race that we have going on here. I do live in Warren County, so trying to stay up on the candidates and decide who I'm voting for in this. So that will be that. I'm looking to be in Lawrence County. I may go out there a little bit earlier and do some stuff out there, but 6 o'clock, and this is the American Legion district meeting. That one's closed. I'm a member of the Legion, so I can attend that one. If you're an American Legion member, come on out. If you're not an American Legion member, you're a veteran. You should be, especially if you're in that area. Come out and let's talk. So I'll look to go out there a little bit earlier. And then What are we looking at? Thursday. Oh, looks like we're adding some stuff on. Showing us, Sequatchie County Conservative meeting. I'll have to look into that one a little bit. But on Thursday, April 16th, we'll actually be at the Bedford County Reagan Day dinner. They may have tickets left. I don't know. Hit them up and see, but I will get a few minutes. I believe I should get a few minutes to talk on that one. And then where is this at? Oh, yeah. So we're going to see, we've got, Tullahoma on Friday the 17th. Is that right? That's the Tullahoma. Yep. Meet the candidates. And that's the Coffee County Republican Party putting those on. Hey, shout out to Coffee County Republican Party too. I was at the last meet and greet. Hey, great time. And I'm expecting this one to be the same. So, and then there's also a meet the candidates in Bell Buckle. I may have somebody there. We'll have to work with the campaign to see about that. And then Saturday the 18th, there's the Warren County Republican women are putting on a meet and greet, and I'll be at that one, or I'm planning to be on that one as we are talking right now. So that's kind of the calendar upcoming. If you've got ideas, you got events that you would like me to come to, you got a group that you think needs to meet me, reach out to us. You can email tomdavistn4@gmail.com. You can call the campaign, and that number is new card. Oh no, there it is. Call my campaign manager Deanna 931-201-9813 and reach out, get in touch, and we'll be more than happy to schedule that with you. Last night a little bit about the Reagan Day dinner. Like I said, is good. These events, I enjoy them. It's actually a little bit kind of interesting to see the crowd at these events. They're always pretty deadpan. And in essence, and it's kind of funny, you hear invoked this Ronald Reagan 11th commandment, which is thou shalt not speak ill of a fellow Republican, which I don't think I have. I am definitely discussing his votes and the issues that I have with him as a candidate and how I will represent us a lot better. One of which is, again, is showing up, which, hey, great. The guy showed up last night and, our keynote speaker, but I mean, didn't know until the day of. And this is typical of him. Tonight, actually, in Coffee County, they do have him listed as the keynote speaker. We'll see how it shakes out. And like I said, I've been told no time on the mic at Coffee County, which, I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. Like I said, last night they had, and it wasn't just me as a candidate. They had a whole list of candidates that spoke last night. Some Republican Party counties that the GOPs in those counties do allow for the candidates to speak. Some don't. So just how it works out. But it's a big shocker to see Congressman Desjardins show up and be the keynote speaker. So it was interesting. But then to see the crowd, and I actually followed right behind him. They asked for congressional candidates, which is me. And yeah, it's kind of hard to get a crowd fired up in that when and especially the roll into that. Apparently, his staff or whoever had actually worked some grants in in Bledsoe County and did some positive things for the folks there. So, especially to go back behind that. And then I'm talking about how, he's not showing up for veterans. He doesn't he pays us lip service. And this is in particular, the closing of the VA clinic in McMinnville. Chose to go to North Dakota and, chillax at Minot Air Force Base and talk about missiles at the personal invite versus showing up for the veterans. And then talking about the vote, the sexual misconduct that we cover up in Congress and that we allow for it. And that we are paying for it, the American taxpayers. So to see that, kind of interesting as I'm talking about that, the VA, and then the town halls. And we are in the planning process right now of our third town hall, which will be on the 13th of June. We've picked the date, looking for input from the community, from the district, to see where that next one is. We've had one in Warren County. Had one scheduled in Rutherford in January, but the weather decided it didn't want to cooperate. And then we had one in March at the in Coffee County at the Veterans Day or the Veterans building there. So we're looking for to nail in the time on the 13th and then the location, which county to go to. We do have some preferences, but whoever comes up on the net with the most, you got a venue you want to help out. Hey, here's a great place for us to go. This is grassroots, so really we're looking minimal payments on a venue, but bring it in if we can figure some stuff out. But again, looking for your participation in this to get that rolling. So all right, so that was the Reagan Day. I think we'll talk about that. Let's go into this week. As I'm looking at the congressional calendar, they were off again. They did do a little bit of reshuffling of that calendar, but they were off. I'm showing them off until Monday. And if you go on, and this is at house.gov, and it has the calendar on there, but it shows and how it's broken down. It's supposed to be district work, other than I haven't heard other than these Reagan Day dinners of our representative being in the district. I mean, this would have been a great opportunity. I'm confident that if he would have called our county chair here in Warren County and said, hey, throw together a town hall for me so I can talk to the veterans and explain to them face to face why missiles were more important than this VA clinic, why that was more important than veterans. I'm reasonably sure that our chair and the whole party would have thrown in and put that together and got the word out. And I think we probably would have had a pretty good showing. But I don't get the impression that Congressman Desjardins is super excited about answering those tough questions. Yeah, and it's actually interesting. Last night, as I brought that up when I was at the podium, a little Schneid comment from the peanut gallery there from his table, because it was right in front. One of his campaign people, when I said that we're being told, because that's true, absolutely true. We were being told that he didn't know. He didn't know, and so that's like that's true. I'm not saying it's not true. It is or it isn't, and either way, if it is, I'll go with it is true. But what it shows me is that he's not in the district, and then so either he is definitely not in the district, but two, he was let down by some staff or whoever's supposed to be doing that sort of thing. So how you got caught off guard on that, I don't know. And even in that town hall that we had on the 20th, and please go back and watch that town hall. But they told us in there that they have been, this clinic has been kind of under the microscope or being looked at since a survey in 2019. So, again, what are we looking at? 6 years that they've been eyeballing this particular VA clinic for closing, and our congressional rep, and this is a federal problem, didn't know about. And especially, follow the VA pages, and they're all about like, oh my gosh, we're opening new clinics, we're doing all these things, and and except for this one, we're going to close it, and you're telling me it's a done deal, which is to me is absolutely ridiculous. So that little comment there, like it's true, yeah, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. It was true, absolutely. But also with that, he's not even taking up the lead on this. And I called as Congressman Rose is kind of taking up the lead on it. And I talked to his office in DC, and they're like, yeah, and Congressman Desjardins is signing up as a secondary, but this is his district. So why is he not taking the primary role and like, hey, let's figure out something else other than just, hey, the clinic's got to close, which is ridiculous. And again, those second and third order effects of this closing, they're telling us to go to Arnold Air Force Base, which now those folks they're not prepared to receive more patients. They're telling us to go to Cookeville, same deal. I'm hearing they're not accepting new patients, or again, if they are, they're going to max out. The same thing. Now Murfreesboro is, I'm sure, a little more has a little more capacity to take in more, but the same deal there. They're not ready for this. So they drop it on us last minute. It's like, are you guys kidding me right now? If you've known since 2019, if you've known, this decision, I've heard about 14 months ago, you had 14 months to plus these things up. Not like, all right, well, we're working on it. And that, we were told the Manchester clinic, and now that clinic is no more, isn't on. It is, or it is, and it's not even looking to be online until they were telling us 27. So yeah, this whole thing is a freaking train wreck. And unfortunately, again, our representative, our congressional rep in the House, is not looking to take the lead and actually affect some change. He's just looking to ride along with with the others up there that are ridiculous. I saw. I really don't want to go look at her page, but Marsha Blackburn has even roped it in and is posting about it. Congressman Desjardins, not so much. So to hear this guy talk about he supports veterans, he supports military, no. It's like, you voted yes, transgender affirming care in the military. Yeah, not excited about that. So there we go. All right, that's the VA clinic. What else from last night? I think. Yeah, so that was the main topics we talked about. But the town halls, like I said, we hit that. The VA clinic closing. I did talk about the that House resolution for the sexual impropriety. Our congressman is on board. Like, yeah, let's keep covering up the sexual improprieties. And it's interesting, to me, the excuses were given about this, which is, oh my gosh, due process. Get out of here. You're in a little bit different environment. But then when other stuff comes up, nobody's screaming about due process. And regardless of how you feel about the guy, what side you fall on, the most recent one we have is Joe Kent. It comes out, he's like, he's under investigation. I mean, guy hasn't been convicted of anything. He hasn't, but it's all over the place. He's being investigated. You don't hear these congressional folks screaming there like, oh my gosh, it's due process, knock it off. Or, the identity of the victims, that is a legitimate concern. However, that resolution had it in there. The victim information was going to be redacted. And so and go read it. It's like one page. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, for this to even be a thing, like they used up to $17 million is the number that's going around. Congressman Burchett mentioned that number, but they've used to pay these people off. They're victims. They go up there, they perpetrate this nonsense, and then pay it off because we can't. Yeah, get out of here with this trash. So those were that's the really kind of the three things with my 3 minutes I get to talk. And just we have. He's not a leader, either formal or informal. Talks about, he's the chair of a subcommittee now. Great. You're in your 8th term, dude. And now you're the chair of this, the subcommittee. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he's not pushing to get things done. And then, he talked about the SAVE Act. Like now you want to come out and try and bash the Senate. And I mean, honestly, I'm on board with it. The Senate is absolutely not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They went ahead, they passed a crap bill, kicked it over to the House in the middle of the night, and then popped smoke. Like, deuces, man, we're going on vacay. The dog parade wore me out. You guys are, this is what we get. And we're going to keep getting it if we keep sending the same people. And that's kind of that is the message. We need some people that are actually looking to lead up there and to stand on our biblical principles, our Christian values, and the Constitution. Like, we have got so much unconstitutional stuff going on. In fact, I'll talk about a book that I'm getting back into, but the Constitution Study, and this is by Paul Engel. Is that I'm seeing it. So hopefully you're seeing it the right way. But get this book. You're gonna have to do some research on it because I actually wasn't prepared to tell you about it. But look that one up. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Engel is in the 4th district. I want to say I picked this up at don't give me. I'm not at one of the radio station interviews that I was on. actually about 2 years ago now. I was given this. Okay. Paul at constitutionstudy.com. So if you want to reach out to him, Paul at constitutionstudy.com. Send him an email and see how to get his book. There you go. But I encourage that one as a read. And then just the Constitution itself. Once a month or so, dig out your Constitution and read it. And I'm gonna give you a hint here. They do make large print versions, which are super handy for reading it. So so that goes back to some of these votes. Like I said, we've got to get DC out of Tennessee, out of every state, really. It's a contract. The Constitution sets up the left and right limits of what our federal government is supposed to be doing, and they're so far out of it. And that's why I referenced that book. I think he says in there, I mean, it's 80 to 90% of what we have the federal government doing is unconstitutional. So what we need is somebody that can understand, has read the Constitution. Questionable on whether our rep has even read it, or if it's been so long, if he remembers it. And go look at interviews he's done on 99.7. He's referenced a couple times difference about, I don't even know what that is. And that was the MERV vote, which is a military term for rockets. It's a multiple rocket reentry vehicle. A little bit of a lookup he could have known. And then Matt Murphy on 99.7 was talking to him about the 10th Amendment. And then in one of the votes, he's like, I don't even know if we have the author, where that authority comes from for us to do that. Yeah, because they don't care, man. And we allow it. How do we fix it? We vote, and we get rid of guys that don't understand and know the Constitution. So there we go. Very good. Hey, if you watch this later on down the road, not as a live stream, and you have comments, feel free to hit the questions. And in fact, I think that's what we'll do now. I have had some comments. Let me get over to, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta crack this up, or I gotta talk about this. Oh my gosh, I don't know what it is. I guess it's Al Gore. His rhythms are hitting me on these with my feeds. But oh my gosh, this Democrat stuff continues to pop up, and a lack of understanding of the Constitution and how the system works. But so she shows me this map, and so it says when you see all red, and it's these voting maps that we see. But remember, when you see all red, remember this: land doesn't vote, people do. Under our current electoral college system, voters in Montana's ballots are worth 56% more than voters in California. If rural Americans don't want to be controlled by the liberal elite, they shouldn't expect to control the elites either. And so then so basically, yeah, and the lack of understanding on the electoral college, and how the system works. Clowns. But anyway, all right, back on task. Let's get over to some comments on mine, because I'll tell you, here's how I do this. Occasionally, I will post back, at least just most of the times I'll hit back thanks for the comment, or do a thumbs up. I do like to go back and do that. But some of these questions, I'm not going to get into I'm on my phone trying to text in there and do the thing. So what I'll do is, like on this live stream where I've done videos to answer questions. So that's what we'll do here. Is I'm going to run back through some of the posts and where I've had some comments. Actually, I think I've got. Yeah, we'll do it this way, so I'm not searching around. I can scroll back and see where there's comments. Hey, and I'm getting some shares. Those of you that out there are liking and sharing and making the comments, I do appreciate you. Even the haters out there, haters gonna hate. But no, I do appreciate the likes, the shares, the comments about this. Okay. Here's I got some comments, and this one was let's see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this I went out to Lawrence County. There was a candidate meet and greet out there. Thank you, Lawrence County Republican Party, for putting that on. They do a fantastic job out there of putting these meet and greets together and controlling it. Kind of interesting to get up there. That's another pressure on you other than just being in front of a crowd of people that you're trying to you're applying for the job to represent them, and then they put a clock on it, and it's right there in the front. It's great. But so anyway, I was out there at this meet and greet, and Scott Franks, so he replied to this, and so this is his comment on this. And again, you can see this from my Facebook page, but his comment was, if you live in the 4th Congressional District of Tennessee, as shown on the attached map, so he was kind enough to put the map in there, we are represented in Congress by one of the most useless congressmen in the country, Scott DesJarlais. His words, not mine. I can't say I disagree, but let's just be clear on what's going on here. He was first elected in 2010 and has not held a public meeting with constituents since 2013. Yep, I talk about that all the time. Research him, and you will find he has accomplished absolutely nothing in Congress, with the exception of collecting a paycheck and getting reelected. You never hear his name until reelection time. He is worthless. He has had 16 years. It is beyond time to term limit him. Tom Davis, a 25-year U.S. Army combat veteran, is running against DesJarlais in the Republican primary. Let's get Davis elected and send DesJarlais home so he can chase more skirts, his real vice. And then he gives my website, which is tomdavistn4.com. And he asks, share this with family and friends. So, and this is one I replied to, thank you for posting about this. I appreciate the effort to assist in facilitating a needed change to how we are represented here in Tennessee's 4th Congressional District. So that was the exchange. And like I said, this was after that, that town hall. So let's go to comments and see where we're at. And hopefully I can pull all of these up. And then, so some of the comments, let's see. Oh, what? Oh, there they are. So this is a comment. I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm not a fan of Scott DesJarlais. I am a fan of retired U.S. Cavalry troopers since I R1 too. And he says, thank you, John Kerry, for the grammar lessons. So perfect. Sometimes you'll hear us military guys. We've got some interesting ways of saying things. So very nice. So just I want to get to more some of the derogatory, the haters going to hate, trolls, whatever. I'll answer those here. So this is all, kind of positive stuff. I'm told I'll be voting Tom Davis. Thank you very much for that. Let's see if let me get that one to. And then, just tell family, hey, if you're voting for me, absolutely, thank you. August 6th is the primary to show up for, but help with the campaign. Do the things here on social media, whichever one you're seeing me on, but likes, the shares, and tag friends and let them know. So a couple more replies on this one. I'm not sure. Oh, I think we're talking about Monty Fritz for governor. There was a comment for him on there. Yeah, absolutely. Check into Monty Fritz. There's another Army guy. And for this stuff, I'll just say, military. Monty is Army, but definitely look into Monty Fritz if you want somebody that's not establishment and is a leader as well. Look into that. So there we go with that. So mostly, comments on there are pretty decent. Said, let's see. I know. Some of these comments were I started doing my the shorts or cutting up my town hall into posts, and so that's where we're scrolling back here. I think I've cut one up this week. Here we go. Oh, this is about property taxes. Yeah, this is one of the ones. Let's see. Oh, So in this one, the comment is, and some people want him as governor, totally went around the question, then came back to it and said, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do because that's federal. No, it's not. It's state. I don't know what the confusion here, and this is Sean Hipsher. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know what the confusion is. I am not running for governor. Nobody, I don't think, wants me to be governor. I have never heard anyone say that. So I don't know. It is. It's a state, and even more so a county issue. I'm trying to think of any house I've purchased, put into. The taxes have always gone to county. So until you can get enough commissioners, my idea would be a sales tax. Let's do it as a sales tax. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then once you pay it off, you actually own it instead of renting it from the government. That makes a lot more sense to me. But apologize for any confusion there, Sean, but I am not running for governor. So I did not go around the question. I answered it. And I'm trying to make sure I stay on with the Army writing style, which is bottom line up front. So I try as best I can to answer the question directly, and then we can talk about it. So there's that one. There were some more on this one. Let's roll back and see if it came up on another posting. Where the comments are. I think this is, what do we got here? Oh, all right. Someone was just posting for Monty Fritz, tagging Monty Fritz in it about my live stream. All right, perfect. There's all right. Where are we at? No comments. Oh, wait a minute. No comments. All right. Getting some shares. Where's this one? No comments. All right. Town hall. Oh, here we go. All right. This one's about affordability. The affordability crisis that we have because we do. And this one says does not sound like a plan at all. 3 L's or 4 L's apparently. Be aware of people who stay vague. He's throwing buzzwords around without explaining the plan or the numbers. Don't fall for demagoguery. They have used this trick for ages and nothing has changed. And this person is this is a Democrat jumping on here, which some of these I look into and then move on. But and I'll address this more because it's a fair question. We're all facing some affordability issues right now. But here are the problems with this, and to put it into a little bit on it. Here's the plan: is the Pause Act with the Chip Roy has. Let's jump on and do something like that. Stop taking in refugees. Absolutely put a pause on all immigration. Stop it, and then let's look at some of those that are in the process. So then we got to start, exceptions to the rule. So the rule is we're stopping. I would say a minimum of 5 years. We are not taking refugees. We are not taking students. We are not taking. No, done. We're done with it. 5 years because we got problems. We got to get sorted through. So that we've closed, the borders are pretty much closed now. So we've taken care of that. Now in the interior, we've got to take care of the interior and the housing crisis and affordability crisis. We've got too many people that are sucking up off the system, and it's causing an issue. So we get rid of those that shouldn't be here, that are here for nefarious purposes, that are here even just as a takeover. This goes into a whole lot of other things that we have going on, and I'll call it out. Islam. If you're here and you're not necessarily practicing, and you're like, all right, I'm a Muslim, but I'm not on for the takeover of the world by the sword. Like, okay, but if you're here, you're putting up mosques, you're trying to these enclaves with Sharia law, and if you think Sharia law is a good thing, you better look into it, especially if you're female, especially if you're gay or trans or any of the things. You better look into it. They have got like zero tolerance for it. Go try and wave your flag in Palestine or any of these countries. Anyway, so but we've been invaded, and it's a takeover that's going on. So we absolutely got to get rid of these refugees. Go back and look at all those that we have actually naturalized. And I mean, look at it now. We're seeing these folks pop up, and we're seeing even those that we drop these anchor babies. We've allowed this. Even these ones that are just that generation. Their parents have been naturalized, and now, yeah. So get out, get the heck out. And so we start getting rid of people that kind of frees up some housing. And like I said, this one was affordability. Again, takes pressure off the system. um, and the tariffs. I didn't actually, did I what? She sent me a link to something about how tariffs are affecting prices. And again, we can all go take a look at data and twist it our own way. But at the end of the day, have tariffs impacted some stuff? Absolutely. But understand the reason we're in this position is because we have allowed our federal government to engage in practices that are horrible for the small business owner, for businesses in general, and for we the people in these prices. So knock it off. We should indeed be self-sufficient, self-sustaining as a nation, and then trade out of excess. And same thing with the importation of things. And I use the avocados as an example. Why here in Tennessee that I don't see California avocados? That is insanity to me. But and again, the why is that we've allowed our government to engage in these trade agreements, and not even through treaty. We've allowed presidents to do this crap, and it's just it's become a thing. So no, there is a plan, and that's the plan. So and it's more a little more nuanced than that. And so this is her, and I did, like I said, thank you for the comment. I listened to it again, and this was mine, and I stand by what I said. I do. No more refugees, throw out illegals. Check those who've been granted citizenship. Specific plan. Work with other members. Do the things. So yeah, there you go. Oh, and how will you lower oil? And what are the financial statistics on how immigrants are causing grocery prices to rise? We live under free market capitalism, ? Where has this plan actually worked? Do you have a PDF document outlining your plan and the math behind it? Okay, I'll answer you there. No, I don't have a PDF document. My fight right now is to unseat this incumbent. And here's the misconception about the capitalism. We're not actually under capitalism. It's more of a crony capitalism. If we actually got the federal government out of dinking around with all this stuff, we would see capitalism thrive and lift more. And it's already there. Lift more people out of poverty than any other system if we allow it to work. And even under the system we have now, we can see where it works. And again, this is, I think this person isn't even in the district. So, I spend time on some of the stuff just because. Where has this plan actually worked? Everywhere it's been tried. We can take a look back at, Venezuela, right? So they had great capitalism going. Actually, early 1900, they were actually doing better than the United States. And then the commies came in, and yeah, same thing even now with the nationalization of the oil industry. Yeah, it's horrible. Government, that's not something the government should be doing. The government is not responsible for you. The government is responsible to provide you the opportunity, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Nowhere in my question back is, show me in the Constitution where it's up to the government to do these things. Now, there are some of the Commerce Clause, so some of the stuff it is in there to regulate in some left and right limits, but it's not up to that. And here's how we do it. Again, self-sustaining. So local markets control it, get us off this global economy, the roller coaster ride that is that we're tied to the global, locally tied to it. It's insanity. So, and the math behind it. Yeah. So again, straight up, no, I don't. But I can look and see where communism has failed, where socialism has failed, where it's killed more people than a free government or a free society hasn't. And then okay, let's go more. Getting rid of refugees too. Our country was built by our government was not necessarily built by refugees. Let's see. Our country was built by refugees, immigrants, and trafficked humans. If Mexico is so bad that Trump wants to send in weapons, for instance, why aren't they helping bring the population in? Is this another Chinese exclusion act? Okay. I said what I said, and I stand behind it. We do not need to import anybody. It's not on us. Show me in the okay. Let me bring this back up. Show me in the Constitution where it is up to us, we the people, and the American government, to bring in and solve the problems of all these other nations. And okay, let's look back and understand history and how we got here, but let's also take it for what it is. So let's look back to the original refugees coming into this country. Start Mayflower and then Columbus, and then all the things leading into what in essence is the conquest of America and what it looks like today. You think maybe back then those Indian tribes, 50 years deep into it, or after Jamestown, and they helped them out. You think maybe there was some discussion about, what? We should be burning their ships at the beach. We should not be allowing these people to invade. I don't know. Just the food for thought. If that maybe that happened, because look how it turned out for them. They were conquered. This is a conquered land, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Honestly, I had nothing to do with it. But this is where we're at. So and trafficked humans. That's who. This is the same. This is the nonsense you always hear. Chinese exclusion act. Yeah. How many Chinese came across illegally during the Biden administration? The invasion has happened. These folks are here. And if we don't do something about it, we're going to lose the country. And then all of you folks like Everett here, Azala Kozart, if you're not a bot, then we're going to be the ones, as a nation, integrate, accept the Western values, and you don't have to be a Christian, but you have to understand that this is, that's how this should be. So, all right. And I'm not going to watch it now, but she did drop a thing in there about how I'm pretty sure I haven't watched this, but I'll go back. I'll watch it. And again, it's up to the Congress should be doing the tariffs, not our president there. And I said that too. So as he does it, but again, this is, there's more to this. The presidents have done this. This is not, oh my gosh, Donald Trump is a tyrant. He's, knock it off with this trash. He's doing things very similar to all other presidents. And he's looking out for us, for we the people, for the Americans, not all these illegals. So again, getting rid of refugees too. Absolutely. I cannot say that loud enough. If you bring in the pirates, I said it last night too, pirates are going to pirate. That's what they do. And we've seen it. And yeah. So, okay. All right. I think enough on that. We'll see if I don't see any comments going on right now, but yeah, it's just, and like I said, I'll talk about it here, but I'm not going to spend my time with this person that I don't, and I'll do that real quick. Let's look this one up, where she even is. And trying to look at the pins on the picture here. See more. Fight, defeat, boost morale. Yeah, so I can't even, let me see. All right, so I can't even, no, I don't want to report her profile. I won't press that button. She is, hey, and I'm with you, because, I think something we can agree on is the mishandling of the Epstein files. I happen to be looking at her page. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Let me see how. Yeah, I can just see her. So I don't even know where Everett lives. So, but I see I get a fair amount of that of folks that don't even not even in the district. So again, that's troll's gonna troll, I guess. So all right, hey, I'm gonna like my own stuff while I'm here. Why not? Okay, so I think that was enough on that one. Oh, let's see, what is oh, this one, yeah, solar farms. I did want to talk about this one. Hey, the heck, man. Um, and I'm saying what I'm saying here. Let me get this down. Um, dang it, it's not. All right, whatever. So the basically looking at solar, and I said what I said. The solar is horrible, and for a number of different reasons. And this was on Highway 55. It's the is it the Shelbyville Highway? Anyway, Tullahoma going out towards um, um, yeah, I think that is, but towards Lynchburg and going out that way, heading west. You can see where they're cutting in all and that was the context of this question was to our farmland, which we're losing. I think the number it's like 9 or 10 acres an hour, like 100 acres. I don't think that maths out about right, but anyway, we're losing the farmland, and it's more than just one answer, right? Solar is impacting it, and it takes up way too much space. But this comes back to a land use issue. If I own it, or if I paid for it, I'm renting it still from the government because of county taxes. Then who is the government to come in and then tell you, nope, you cannot lease that land out to these solar companies. It's insanity to think that to like, oh my gosh, I don't want solar, but I do want my own property rights. Knock it off. Or do you think for you to think that it's up to the government again to regulate the use of your land? And there are some caveats to that, but by and large, if I want to lease it to a solar company, then that's on me. But there's more to this than the solar. But back to it as far as the solar. When you start factoring in, like in this context, that we're losing the farmland, yeah, horrible. When then you look at the solar, and I didn't look it up this time, but I have seen where the solar industry kills a lot of people every year, and if that argument can be used with with my gun rights, my right to self-defense, that if we save just one life, then we can use that here too, right? You will always need petroleum to do the thing with solar, and here's the government thing. Go and this is a documentary, The Lost Century and How We Get It Back, and it's out there. The federal government, because of petroleum lobbyists, they are super inefficient. They are regulated down to about 20% efficiency, and they've been out there up to 80%. So at this point, and then you can't recycle these things, at least currently. So they go into the landfills, and they stack up. It's a horrible idea. Same thing with the wind. And again, you need petroleum to make these things, and then they drive through Texas, drive through some of these places. These a little off topic but similar. The wind turbines, you can't recycle that crap, so it's just laying out on the stacked up on the side of the doggone roads. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I said what I said. Solar's horrible, and I looked. I can run the data to make it support mine, but just from those points, that I'm not a fan. Let's and we have enough roofs. How about instead of trying to lease out this big chunk of land, how about they come to each homeowner and be like, hey man, we'll pay you to put our panels on your roof. Or like my land now, I have let's say I could cough up an acre to lease out solar panels, and then whatever all right, you pay for my stuff, and then whatever extras you can sell to everybody else. Yeah, there's definitely better ways to do this, but yeah, currently the way it goes. Oh, look at this! I think I might have. When is this? April 17th. Oh, okay. This is the one I think in Bell Buckle. The Bedford County Meet the Candidates. Sip, chat, and connect because great ideas always start with coffee and dessert. 6 p.m. Yeah, so we already talked about the calendar. So there we go. Let's see. Where's some more of my no comments there? Okay. Yeah, I think those were the big ones there. This one, no comments on this, but just as it pops up, is term limits. What was I talking about here? Oh, to use this responsibly. Let's see if I can get it off the comments. Yeah, just that's agreeing with me. Thumbs got some thumbs up. Term limits. I will tell you right now, and it's hard to find. You got to go digging. But our current representative, he originally ran on term limits, 12 years, and he is in his 8th term, which when he finishes this one, will be 16 years. So, if you can't hold yourself personally accountable, how can we expect you to have any type of other accountability? And again, we've already seen that. Again, look at the sexual misconduct stuff. Yeah, he's okay with it. And okay with using our taxpayer dollars to pay off victims. Like, no, that's not. I don't know. I mean, if they accept the money, and that's a hard choice, I'm sure, for those folks to have to make, because they do stand to the potential of retribution against them, and then we're going to re-victimize them. But having that system in place is absolutely ridiculous. So, all right, random stuff through. Hey, I do want to give a shout out to the Patriot Punk Network, who had myself and one of my battle buddies there in the VFW on to talk about that VA closing in McMinnville. And actually, I'm pretty stoked about that video. Let me get over to Rumble. Actually, the last time I checked, it had like 3,500 views, I think it was. But let's see if I can jump over here real quick. I know we're running up on the hour mark here, but it only takes me a second to get into it. It usually pops up pretty quick. Patriot Punk. Hey, and if you happen to watch this all the way through, again, I appreciate you sitting here listening to me, in essence, talking to myself for an hour. Which part of the process, how we start doing the thing and build it, and they will come. I am confident that as we continue to grow here, so 3,200 views, 3.2K, the views on that is, and I will tell you that is number 2 in videos as we kind of scroll back as far as views for the Patriot Punk. So I'm glad that topic is so popular. And then, as I kind of scroll back, but the next one, and if you go watch this one also on the Patriot Punk, and this is on Rumble, and this one has got 16.8 thousand views. And this is about this issue going on over in Putnam County. Is that right? The Chuck Carter files left on read. And that is the Chuck Carter files. Go watch that one over there. And also I give a shout out also to Warren First 931. Appreciate the work they're doing in Warren County Joy also. Here's what we're seeing is a lot of local type news sources popping up. So give them a chance, especially to stay in tune local. And I will tell you, all politics is local. And it's everything we do is politics. It's interacting with those around us and doing the thing. So give those a view. Let's jump back over to the Facebook and see if there's anything else. Yeah. So I said, I just kind of come back around to the how I answer questions on Facebook. So, and again, if you got a different view, and I will tell you, I am more than open to discussion about things. And like I said, I'll look, I'm more than happy to look more into solar. And some of it more is more than just numbers. we can do a lot of numbers, and again, I can, you know, type in there, figure out the data to make it completely, support me. You can do the same thing on the other side. But let's look at results on the other end and second and third order effects of things. And those are the questions we got to ask. And especially as we look at our Congress and the way they're doing business, big bundles of bills are ridiculous. Whether you call them a big beautiful bill, whether you call them an omnibus, both of them get passed in the middle of the night. Both of them have a bunch of trash in there I mean, again, these are oh my gosh, how you're talking thousands of pages of documents. You as the representative are not having you can't you're not reading through all that. And so, we're not putting the effort in. And again, we're still talking about they haven't even completely passed the FY26 budget. Are you guys kidding me right now? Why did you go home in 25 if you didn't even have 26 set up? But again, in the Senate in particular, talking about some dog show. You guys are clowns, man. No, let me tell you how I really feel. So, yeah, but it's up to us. We the people have allowed this to happen. And again, if I'm on the side of let's keep our country intact. Let's keep capitalism intact. And and you're free to go to some of these other countries. Absolutely. If you're if America's that bad, I would just say go watch some of these videos that people actually, and I'll give it to them. Good on you. If you said you were going to leave and you left, that's great. But then go look at these folks. Even though I saw the ones in Canada that are like, oh my gosh, it's so bad up here because I've overstayed my visa and I'm illegal and I can't get health care. And like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, you're in a country illegally, and you can't receive the services that the citizens get. That's hard to believe, really. But you're going to come back here and advocate for that trash. That one, and there was a woman that went to Africa, and like, oh my gosh, all these people, they like, I can't believe the racism, and I'm black, and get out of here, man. Racism doesn't know a color, you clown. So I do find that amusing. But if but again, be open minded about it, or go do the thing. If you're talking about how bad it is, you know what? Before you try and say that, yeah, we need all these refugees in here, and we're not necessarily bringing in the refugees that probably should. Look at we actually got a congressman up there that we brought her over, and she was on the side that was actually perpetrating the crimes. But like, oh yeah, come on in. Pirate's gonna pirate, man. Yeah, you don't invite the pirates onto your ship. That's a bad idea, man. And I am, that I'm definitely have the Somalis in mind when I talk about that. And all right, some of them are not like that. I got you, but at the end of the day, you bring the third world in. We're going to be the third world, and we're going to, we're watching it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So how do we fix it? We elect people that have read the Constitution, that are willing to stand on the Constitution, that have defended the Constitution, and are willing to stand on principle, to have the integrity to say no, like this is unconstitutional. And I, I've talked about this. Unfortunately, I will have to say yes to some unconstitutional stuff, but there has to be a plan to get us out of it. Because you can't just pull the rug from people. You don't, and this is, a horrible analogy maybe, but we have created people that are dependent on the government. And that was never the intent of this nation. It was never the intent of this republic, of the setup for the republic, that you be dependent on government for anything. And actually, I would, another one I'll throw out is the Tennessee Informer. Go watch some of his stuff and some dives on this and how we are. I mean, we're all dependent on it in some form or fashion. So to just, throw you back out into the wild is going to be a bad idea. So we can't just pull the rug on people, but we do have to start laying the groundwork to getting back to individual responsibility, individual responsibility for yourself. You're a member. Be productive. If you're you should not be living off the system. That should not be a lifestyle. That's horrible. And nor should I be paying for it. Nor should you be paying for it. Not part of it. So, all right, there's our time. I'm spending an hour. I think we did pretty good today. We'll see how we get some views and stuff. But here we are, the end of our hour for the ground truth in Tennessee's 4th Congressional District. My name is Thomas E. Davis, Tom Davis. And, I appreciate your consideration for this. Again, appreciate all the questions, the input, the likes, the shares, the things. And until the next one, this will defend.